What's good, everybody? Quancredible here with the review for Four Nights of Apocalypse Chapter 57. And real quick, before I get right into the review, I do want to thank you guys because the last review for Four Nights popped off on my channel, which is crazy. So I just wanted to say thanks, and I'm appreciative to all of the new viewers. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more Four Nights content. But that being said, this chapter was crazy, bro. Like we got so much happened in this chapter. Like it was look content packed chapter with just everything. Like we got the essentially the last night reveal. We got set up for what's about to happen. Like we got Barta. Like we got a lot happened, honestly. So I'm going to try not to spend too much time on any one topic so we can kind of hit everything all at once, because I have theories about things that are going to happen too. But so essentially at the beginning of the chapter, we get Meliodas going to Bartra's room, and Bartra's had another vision, and this doesn't happen like all the time. It's only happened a few times in the story that we've seen it, but you know, Bartra's ability is the vision, or it's future sight, or the ability to see the future, whatever you want to call it. He just gets random visions, and this is what Arthur and them were referring to all those chapters ago when they were like, our opponents have the vision. That they were basically referring to Bartra. But aside from that, we do get to go back to where, you know, Lance, Tristan, and Percival and all of their groups are, and basically we get like a lot of moments down here where there's a lot to talk about. So we get Lancelot reading Tristan's mind, which is really funny here when he's basically telling everybody to clean up the apprentice mess for him. So like I took it as him reading his mind, whereas some people will say Lancelot just made it up to make them clean. So I thought that that was kind of funny. And then we also get Lancelot wasting no time putting together essentially, you know, how they're going to find everybody, or not find everybody, but how they're going to find the last night, with basically him splitting up everyone's groups into three different groups and giving them where to search. And you know, he goes to search off by himself, and then we get this moment where Cheon kind of whispers to himself. He whispers to himself, "Bossy bastard," in, you know, reference to Lancelot. And Annie hears, and you know, she still knows that he is Sketch. I like this a lot because it reminds me of that one dude from SpongeBob who was like, "This is a load of barnacles." It kind of reminded me of that, no lie. So then from there, Lancelot does ask Tristan if he has any info on the fourth night, and we do get, I didn't expect this at all, we get straight up confirmation that the fourth night, his name is Gawain. And I know, like, I've been on the camp of not wanting the fourth night to be Gawain for a long time. I mean, you know, ignoring how much sense it would make, but I was just hoping he would make it somebody else. But I'm not mad at it. I'm definitely not mad. It's still super hype. So he is Gawain, and he has, like, you know, golden magic. So I know like a lot of people are still gonna go like heavy in the direction of Gawain potentially has a sunshine-esque power or some type of reincarnation of Escanor. There's definitely a lot to talk about in terms of what Gawain could be with his golden magic, or with its golden magic, he or her, because there's another thing too where we don't, that's kind of all we know about Gawain. We didn't get a lot of information about him outside of that. And I keep saying him because that's just what I default to. It could be a girl. It could very well be a girl, because similar to Gother in the original Seven Deadly Sins, Tristan never seen him without his armor, so we don't really know anything about the actual person in it. And it's kind of funny to see Nakaba use this trope again, because it makes sense. Like, we just never seen him, so he can essentially do whatever he wants with this character, and the character can essentially hide in plain sight should they so choose to ditch their armor, which is kind of neat. We also get Lancelot teasing Tristan for not having any more information about him, to which he calls him a dunce. And I found this next moment very interesting because it leads into more stuff that I want to talk about later, with Cheon saying, you know, just let that stray dog bark. And then Lancelot gets like semi-serious and kind of glares at him, and it's just like, there's so much I want to talk about with Lance and Chiam, but I'm still gonna wait because there's more stuff I need to get through first before I get to that. But Lancelot does know that Tristan is hiding something else because he is reading his mind, and Tristan also doesn't seem like to be a very good liar on top of that. Like, it doesn't really seem like he even needed to. So this is when Tristan reveals that Gawain the Fourth Knight is related to King Arthur. So of course, once everybody finds out that Gawain is related to Arthur, it kind of like casts this whole, it like downcast the entire group, which is why Tristan didn't want to tell anybody. But then Lancelot says if it's the truth, you should just come out with it, because it'd be worse if they found out about it later. Which I don't know if this will apply to something later. I'm not for sure. So it kind of feels like this may be relevant later, but I don't know. And then once we get more into looking, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this part of like, Percival's little group and their interaction with like Nansen's kind of, wondering what Percival said and what all that was about. We just get like the double down confirmation that, Percival just doesn't know. Like, I mean, I didn't expect him to, but, Percival was just, reaffirming that he is happy that his friends are around because they are his strength and they did pull him back because he, like you said, he really did think that they were dead. So just it was just like a nice group moment that was just tucked right into the middle of the chapter that I did like. Also, another small funny thing that I wanted to bring up would be when they were talking about how friendly Lancelot was with Tristan, and they kind of just passed off this little comment like maybe he is the prince of somewhere, and then Annie was like not in a million years. And I think this is really funny because like if you read the Lancelot one shot, Bond being the king of the fairy forest, Lancelot would be the prince of somewhere. So I thought that was kind of funny that like it's just a little like thing splashed in there if you did read the one shot. But from there we get one of the parts that I really want to talk about is Annie talking about Chion. Talking about Chion was lying about the whole thing and that he knew Percival was one of the four knights, which is really interesting because if Annie was able to detect that he was lying, Lancelot can read his mind. So Lancelot should be able to know that this dude is sketchy. So it's like I wonder, like, does Lancelot have some type of other plan for it, or if he already knows and he's like, or maybe Chion has this ability to like hide his thoughts, but he can't hide. Like maybe he can hide from Lancelot, but can't hide from Annie. Like I'm really curious to know how Nakaba is going to spin this, so it makes sense because this is one of the things that I was worried about once I found out Lancelot did have that ability, because it's one of those things where it's like you have two people in the main cast that can read minds and hear intent. So it's like it's just really, he's gonna have to be careful on how he handles this, because if Lancelot just didn't know and there's not a good reason, that's gonna be a little weird. It's just gonna be a little weird. But it's kind of strange because Percival doesn't really seem to care. He just runs off and tries to find Gawain anyway. But definitely, again, everybody knew Chion was sus, so this just further adds to it. And then from there we get, I guess, the actual armor reveal of Gawain, the knight in the pure white and gold armor, just sitting there, and it's just weird because we don't have anything to go off of here. I mean, the light is shining on him, so I'm not for sure if this is like a foreshadowing to the sunshine ability for him. Like, who knows? Just really gonna have to wait and see on that one. And we also get these two cloaked figures and this big dude. Now, I wanted to talk about this big dude because I'm not for sure if this big dude is one of the guys that was in the cloak because he's holding a cloak, or I'm not for sure if this big dude is Gawain or it was the dude in the armor. I'm gonna say doubt. I don't think this guy is Gawain because he seems really old to be a 16-year-old, and it seems way too obvious. Like, it just seems like way too obvious because his build would fit the armor. So I'm gonna just say, personally, I'm gonna go with a no. And then the other, it's like 90 big things. I feel like the video is already really long. And another big thing would be this chick running in the rain. We don't get to see her face, but I feel like she's going to look like what Sin had a vision on. So I'm not for sure if this chick that, because the back of her and her dress looks so similar. Like it legitimately, at least to me, looks so similar, and we didn't see her face, so there has to be a reason for that. So this chick could potentially actually be Gawain, and we just don't know it yet. So like it would really fit. Like, I promise you, it would really fit so well, the whole like style that Nakaba likes to do. Like, because he really does like to do that kind of stuff where he like hides things in plain sight or misdirect or uses like misdirection. Because it reminds me of the whole Gother thing where there's the armor and Alan was actually Gother and he was just around the entire time. So it's like it just fits too perfectly for this potentially to be her, or the original thing where a lot of people seen her, including myself, and just assumed that this could be Guinevere since it was relating back to the visions that they were having, and Arthur was talking about, the bride. So it could be. Who knows? We got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of moving parts in this chapter. So, and then at the very end, the last big piece would be Bartra's prophecy or his vision. He was saying that the four knights will assemble, but only through the work of an assassin of chaos and the blade of a traitor. Obviously, the assassin of chaos would have to be those cloaked figures, obviously, and the blade of a traitor. Again, I hate when things are so obvious, it's bad, but at the same time, it might not be. Maybe there could be more to Chion, but he's definitely the traitor. And then he's also saying hope will be snatched away once more, which could mean a lot of different things. I don't think one of the four knights is going to die. but something bad is definitely going to happen. Maybe Barter will die. I don't know if that's like worthy of a prophecy of like hope, you know, being snatched away. I know I had my own little like personal fan theory that maybe Percival could get kidnapped because it said hope will be snatched away, and Percival has been, you know, have he like his grandpa called him his hope, so maybe hope could be Percival. Maybe bit of a stretch there. Not gonna lie, bit of a stretch there. But it's possible to me. I would love to know what you guys think is going to happen with this whole prophecy, because that's kind of what I'm like. Like again, that's kind of where I'm. I don't necessarily think one of the knights is going to die, nor do I think one of the more important characters. Like I don't think any of Percival's main group is going to die or anything like that. So it just depends, or Meliodas or anything like. So it just depends on what they mean by hope will be snatched away. So kind of what I'm thinking there. But honestly, this chapter was crazy. I mean, this chapter, it had so much progression in it. Like we moved so fast. So I thoroughly enjoyed this chapter. It was like an 8.5 for me. Maybe, yeah, probably 8.5 is like in a good spot, because there's just so much content. Like it pushed the plot forward so much, and we got freaking Gawain in it. So I can't really ask for too much more on that one. I would love to know you guys' thoughts and opinions on the chapter down below, as well as I would also like to know what you guys think about the prophecy and what you guys think about Gawain. Do you think it actually is that big dude? Do you think it's that chick who was running in the rain? Do you think it was someone else entirely? Like, I'm just really curious to know what you guys are thinking about all of that. But that aside, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you like the videos or subscribe to the channel. Again, I want to say I do appreciate all you guys that showed support on last chapter review. So yeah, that being said, I'm out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.